Alright, here we are with a 150cc Chinese scooter, the GY6 models, and fork leg. And here to take it apart and show you how to service it and show you how basic it is. Now I already took it apart ahead of time and gotten everything loose, so the tools you're going to need are going to be a 6mm Allen key, 12mm Allen key. You'll need some sort of axle or like a little punch rod, hopefully at least about a foot long or so, a little plastic mallet and a jar to collect your oil. So again, what we have is a naked fork leg, and this one's in pretty bad shape. It's gone through a couple abuses, so we're just here to take it apart and show you how to service it. First thing, you're going to take your 12mm and loosen the fork cap. Takes about 8 turns or so. It's going to be under a little bit of pressure, of course, so just be careful once you get it towards the last few turns. There you go, that pops off. When you take your fork spring out, it's going to be very oily, so make sure you don't have this thing level, make sure you have it upright. As you can see, I already emptied the jar emptied the fork of oil, and it's, I don't know, maybe 4 ounces or so. It's in pretty bad shape, as you can see. So from there, of course, the fork tube is going to slide freely because the spring's not in there. So to get the tube out, you're going to grab your 6mm, turn that a few times. You might have a washer that comes out on the bottom. Didn't come out the first time for me, and then next try it seemed to come out. There it is. And then from here you can separate your fork leg and the fork tube. I'll go ahead and move these tools out of the way. So here's your damper rod with the orifice holes. There's this piece on the bottom that kind of centers it, so make sure you include that back in there when you put it together. The taper goes face up. From here is where you're going to be, where you want to push the damper out. Now you want to get your rod and make sure it's centered right over it, because you can end up getting it sideways. You might actually get your push rod stuck. So I hammer that out. That actually came out a lot quicker than I expected. There's going to be a little bit of a cushion spring on the bottom, and then here's your plunger. Now this seal here, I think was you can see that crack right there. I don't know if that was in there before or when I took it out the last couple times. So there's your damper rod. Goes right inside the tube. So really all your parts here, when you look at it, are right there. Now it's got, the fork leg has a fork seal in it. I didn't bother to really mess with that, but the inside and this part, they just ride exactly friction on friction. So if yours is sticking, or you think there's no damping, your oil is probably too thin or it's bad, and you may just want to get it all cleaned up. So that's how simple it is. That's your GY6 150cc scooter, Chinese scooter, front fork leg.